Hey there! I said a few days ago that I'd make a video on how to better your auditions to increase your chances for future auditions and such. All of this I am about to say is from experience and tips from friends who have also held auditions before. Deciding on a single person is not an easy task, I can assure you. Granted, sometimes there is that one person that stands out the most that wins you over, and that's the person you want to be when it comes to auditioning. So I'll help you out here in order to achieve that. To start, you want to sound interesting. There are a ton of things you can do with your voice, and it's easy to sound how you want with practice. Trust me, I had to work on my voices for a good 2 or 3 months before they started to sound how I wanted them to sound. Seriously, with enough practice, you can do anything. The fact that I can go from my normal voice
all the way up to this voice
is from sheer practice. You'll find that over time it gets easier to do a voice you do when originally it hurt your throat or it was hard to get that high or low, and so on. Next, when you try for multiple characters, it is so important that they sound different. If you want to get in for more than one character, it is essential that you make them sound different. This is a blatant fact that everyone should know.
If your Fairy sounds like this, and your Jade sounds like this,
you will not get anywhere. When your characters sound alike, it also decreases your chances in getting either of them. From my experience, that is. First of all, it makes people think that's your original voice, and that you can't really vary it at all, which is not a good thing. So even if you think they sound different, you need to reach out to your friends and ask them personally.
So your Fairy can sound a lot different, and so can your Jade.
Being open to acting different characters than you originally planned to can be a big help. If you're just starting out and you don't know exactly what you sound best as, just record a character you think you sound the most like, and make sure to mention that if they think you sound like a different character, that you're fine with it. That is, of course, if you're open to doing that. If your intent is to get a specific character, then by all means do it the way you think would work best. Moving on, pronunciation is a huge factor. If you're slurring your words too easily, that can hurt you in the long run. You want to make sure they know what's being said without having to look at the original script to see what's written down. Try to stay clear and don't go too fast. Fast is good for some characters, but for the most part, it's better to do it a little bit slower. Of course, that doesn't mean you should start talking slower than the pace of a turtle. Do something that sounds realistic, but don't go too fast that you stumble over your words. Emotion too. Emotion is a huge thing. I always say to overact your emotions, but I can literally not stress this enough. The way people talk typically isn't overly emotional and clear to hear. No, people generally talk with a basic, bland, neutral attitude. When it comes to acting though, this is the exact opposite of what they look for. You don't want to talk like this, when it fits your character so much more if you can talk like this, yeah! See, it is much more appealing to listen to acting that is emotion-packed. Of course, you don't want to make it sound unbelievable. Shouting, "Yeah, I am so hyped now, wow!" doesn't work. Just keep it realistic. Another thing that is super unappealing is fake yelling. I understand that not everyone can yell when they act, because they live with their parents that are always sleeping, or they don't like loud noises, or whatever. If you can't yell, please don't do a character that yells constantly, because yelling like this doesn't work. You want to yell like this to make it sound believable! Also, try to record when everyone is okay with it. Don't wait until nighttime to record stuff when you have to whisper. That is even worse than fake yelling. It doesn't make the character sound realistic, and overall makes for a bad audition. There are some things you can include to your audition to help your chances, though.
Take this, for instance. Get it out. Get it out, 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 get it out!
Notice how I added a robot effect? It makes it sound much more like the character. As long as it isn't an obnoxious, distracting effect, it can help you with your audition. Another thing is music. As you can clearly hear, this video has music. It makes it sound more appealing. Adding music to auditions can help a lot. Of course, you want to make sure it doesn't cover up your voice and makes it hard to hear either. Background music is usually a really good way to boost your chances, if it fits with what you're reading, that is. You don't want a super energetic song if you're quoting the Silence's last words, you know? Make sure to take note if the group doesn't want music. I recommend asking if they want a clear recording with no music or if it's fine to leave it in. Sometimes they need it without music for a specific reason, so it's always good to ask beforehand. Quality is also a huge thing, okay? You don't know how often people add in their emails that they're auditioning for saying, "I plan to get a new mic soon," or bear with my mic for a little bit please. As nice as it is to say that you will be getting one soon, it still hurts your chances. Seriously. It's really bad for finished projects, and it can be a tiebreaker when it comes to deciding. If you don't have a good microphone, I recommend a few things. Use a pop filter. If, when you speak into your microphone, it sounds windy or such when you pronounce p or s, you need a pop filter. You can easily make a makeshift one. It's easy to look up how to make one. You can also buy one too. Headsets generally have their own built-in system for these things, considering that you can't easily put a pop filter in front of a headset. Make sure you're in a quiet room too. If there's background noise like a television, it will hurt your chances. Laptop fans too. That's what makes recording sound bad usually. There is usually a way you can turn off your fan for the time being if you look around your computer enough. Of course, if your computer is old or needs its fan on all the time, I do not recommend this, considering it could damage your computer. If you can't get a clear recording in, I recommend waiting until you can, because it's better to turn it in the day of closing with great quality, rather than turning it in the first day with horrible quality. Now that the recording stuff is out of the way, the email or submission. You always want to double read the instructions, triple even. It is so important that you follow all of the rules. If they say to send it through an email, send it through an email. Don't send it as a submission through Tumblr. That is so annoying if they want it through an email, and they usually disregard it. Another thing is that you don't want your email to look super unprofessional. Try your hardest to make it look easy to read and collect needed information. Include all you need to, and more even. Just to be on the safe side, always include your Tumblr URL, your Skype or another popular way to contact, your name or alias, your age, the times you are usually able to record, and if you're currently busy with anything that may hinder your ability to record at the moment. All of this is important to the people deciding. It can be a tiebreaker. Another huge thing is making sure you send it to the correct email. Messaging the group asking if they received your email is a great way to make sure. Don't just ask if they got your email. Make sure to include the name your email has assigned to it, otherwise it's hard to find your email. So, there are some tips on how to make an audition sound great and work out for the best. I hope this helped. Thank you for listening to these important tips, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.